Welcome to my videos. I have decided that I'm going to talk now, even though English is not my first language, and all the comments are going to be like, you use that word wrong and you pronounce this wrong. Well, at least there are comments. But I also decided to make my first video an ateez video because they just came, saw, and conquered my heart. I would say NCT is still my ULT, but I'm going to see ateez live in 2 months, and I don't think I've ever been this excited for a K-pop concert. So yeah, to say that ateez is kind of my second ULT, if that's a thing, that's an understatement. The tracks I'm going to talk about today are just going to be the tracks they promoted and maybe even made a small music video for, or a performance video. Maybe one day I'll do a video on all of their tracks, but not today. For the sake of the length of this video, it's just going to be the tracks they promoted with during their time. So ateez debuted with their really well-known album Treasure Episode 1, and their title track for this was Treasure. Now, I have heard about ateez before they debuted because, I mean, a lot of people knew KQ Fellas and they saw the performance videos they put out. They were just so amazing. I think that already raised like a lot of questions. Where are they? Where do they come from? Are they going to be a group? Can we like see more of these guys who are obviously very talented? And then they came out with Treasure, and I think in the beginning I didn't really connect that the guys who put out these amazing dance videos are the same who put out the first Treasure, because the style was just so different, like not entirely different, but a little bit. And I have to say, Treasure may be my least favorite title track. And that sounds really shady. Like, my first remark is like, oh, I don't like their first title track, which is not true. I really like Treasure. I just found that I don't listen to it that often. Like, I usually measure how much I like a track by how often I listen to it. And Treasure is just one of the tracks I don't really listen to. I don't go out of my way to open a playlist and click on Treasure. If it's on shuffle, I don't skip it, but I also don't, like I said, go out of my way to listen to it. Treasure is a really beautiful track, and I think it was a very good choice for a debut because it had this epic feeling to it. Like, you know, this is not the highest quality they can do, which they proved is true, but at the same time the quality is already incredibly high. It felt very light, and like the music was very light, and at the same time it had a very dark theme. It was just executed very well. I liked that they shot it in a different country, but I think the music video itself is not my favorite. It was like, some of the shots were really, really pretty, but some of the shots were just a little off. Like, they felt like 2 people made this, and those 2 people didn't really, like, coexist that well. And this is why, I don't know, I don't really watch the Treasure music video. I don't really listen to Treasure a lot. It's a good debut. It's a solid debut, which is probably the most important part. If you have a solid debut, even if the debut itself isn't even that great of a song, like the greatest song ever, it's better if you have a solid debut and then a really good follow-up than if you have a really, really good debut and then your follow-up is only so-so. So I like this way around better.
우리는 savage, 기도의 세계.
ateez also promoted with Pirate King in this episode, in episode 1. Pirate King may be one of my favorite ateez songs ever, but I'm probably going to say this about 90% of the songs that I'm going to list here. I really think that Pirate King and Treasure complemented each other like very well. Treasure was that more calm, more epic thing, and Pirate King was that really hard hitting. You would hear that in a club sound. I really like Pirate King. What I like generally about ateez is that they use a lot of samples, and in Pirate King they did it as well. And I listened to Pirate King probably the most of this entire album, mostly because I really also like the dance for it. I think it's really well executed, and it just feels epic, but in a completely different way than Treasure. And this is what I really treasure. Aha. 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 God. That's what I really like about Pirate King. It's just this very good follow-up, and I don't know. It's just, I think the debut was so solid. Like, everyone was like, damn, this is gonna be a big group, and they were right.
Step 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, let's go. Will you be my friend? Coming to ya, yeah, I won't give up. Everybody say yeah. 조금 더 크게 say my name. 그게 잠든 날 눈 뜨게 해워.
ateez's first ever comeback was Treasure episode 2 with Say My Name as their title track. Now, I have to admit, I still wasn't an ateenie at that time. I liked Say My Name, but I liked it even more than Treasure. But similar to Treasure, I didn't go out of my way to listen to it. Now that I listen to Say My Name like 500 times, I do sometimes listen to it, like go out of my way to find it in a playlist, and I want to listen to it. And I really came to appreciate the music video because I feel like, of course, the storyline started already with the debut, but I feel like Say My Name really drove the storyline home as well. And this is why I really like it. And I really liked that in Say My Name as well as Hala Hala, Woyoung had the killing parts, and they were just so good. And Woyoung is my bias tracker, and that's why I cannot complain.
한 번 더 크게 say my name. 네가 내 이름을 불러주면 어느새 먼 곳을 향해 더 fly high. 나가서지 말아 give it up. 지난 나는 이제 burning up now. We don't want no trouble, just moving forward. Yeah, 잠깐만 달려 그 안에 불꽃을 향해서 또다시 달려. 모두 여기로 높은 곳으로 함께라면 no down down down. 손을 들어라 소리 질러라 터질 듯한 시작을 위해 저기 저 달빛이 부를 때 세상을 덮친 듯 달구네 우리 손을 잡고 날아가 Yes sir 부름의 응답 Say my name, say my name, say my name Say my name, say my name, say my name 나를 불러줘 떨린다 떨린다 내 가슴이 뛰고 있다 처음 느낀 이 감동이 새로운 나를 만든다
On that note, we can also come to Hala Hala. Hala Hala. I do not know how to pronounce that. Hearts Awake and Live Alive. That may be one of my favorite performance videos ever. I hate that they're in an abandoned building. I hate it because I think that's one of the most boring backgrounds you can choose. I'm sorry, it's just really basic, and you have to work really hard to make it work. And they made it work, and I feel like that's good for ratings, good for ateez for making Hala Hala. I think I never watched him in performance video as much as I did Hala Hala. Again, with the sampling, it was just so good. Everything hit right. The dancing was out of this world. I really like, especially in the end when they snap all of their necks and Woo-young is the last one standing. Yeah, Hala Hala just really did something to me, especially after I became an ateenie. It was just so good.
I feel like that 배 popping pop shot 변하신 같이 그래 바꾸지 마 끝이 변신의 가시는 가시오 네 시대 여기 지금 우린 오션뷰 파도 위 어디쯤인가 함께하고 있어 여전히.
Their next comeback was episode 3, One to All, and it felt like a blink that they come back, when in reality, between episode 2 and episode 3 was their longest wait. There was half a year. But it still felt like incredibly short because they just debuted in October, they had a comeback in January, and now they're having a comeback again in summer. It just felt really quick, when it was in reality, it wasn't even that fast, but I think what people really like about ateez is their consistency, and I really like it about ateez. So what happened with episode 3 was that there was like this, you could vote between Wave and Illusion, which one should be the title track, and they promoted both, and then they kind of promoted everything on that album, because I'm definitely going to talk about this album again. But for now I'm just going to talk about Wave and Illusion. Technically I could also talk about Aurora, but if I go out about Aurora now, I do not know how to pronounce it. Aurora. This video would take 10 minutes more, so I'm just going to talk about Wave and Illusion. I like Wave more than Illusion, but I think that's just a personal preference. I really do like Illusion, but again, it's a song I can listen to, but I don't really go out of my way to click on it, to listen to it like 10 times a day and at night 20 times. But that song is Wave for me. I think Wave may be one of my favorite title tracks of ateez. It was definitely my favorite so far. It beat Say My Name for me, and also Treasure. It was just so good. I don't love the music video to Wave. I think it fits. It's the summer vibe. It's a summer comeback, but Wave itself is just such a good song. I even listened to this in winter. It's beautifully executed. It has this very summery vibe to it. It even, like, I watched a lot of dance videos about this. It even incorporates this in the dance, like the wave movements and the lightness of summer. It's just such a beautiful, well done concept they did with Wave. It just really felt nice. And Mingy with his deep voice gombang at me, I just do not know how I feel. I feel like if I really looked at ateez at that time, I would have become a tiny, but at that time I was really busy, so I didn't. So that brings us to the time I became a tiny and the title track that made this all happen.
나는 지금 어디 너는 누구 처음 느껴보는 이런 기분 지금 여기만이 paradise 모르겠고 일단 party all alone 불빛 태양 보라색 별 꽃이 춤춰 노래는 또 어디선가 말을 꺼내 밤새 돌아가서 party all alone oh yeah yeah 날 따라올래 너 날 따라올래 you 해 뜰 때까지 right 밤새 돌아가서 party all alone oh yeah yeah 천장에 별이 보여서 올라타 그 위에 빛이 따라 돌고 돌아나 아 뜨거 난 누군 따라내 보랏빛 패러다 난 따라 들어왔네 후 죽었다 살았다 반복해 계속 누구도 억지로 맞춰 지나치 초록빛 태양 아래서 눈부셔 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 부셔 꿈을 꾸는 듯해 제발 don't wake me up 하루 이틀 살 나을 오늘이 며칠인지 몰라
I love the episode Fun. First of all, because all the B tracks are amazing, but then also Wonderland exists. Wonderland, I feel like, was very controversial for ateez, like for people who were already following them since the beginning. Wonderland really split them. I feel like a lot of people said they don't really like it or they really loved it. And oh boy, was I the second one. I think I haven't listened to a song in October as much as I listened to Wonderland. I listened to that song on every occasion, like when I was on a bus, when I was in the shower, when I was just sitting at home because I have no friends. Wonderland was my soundtrack. It was just everywhere, and I feel like Wonderland just really hit home for me. And I really liked everything about it. I liked the music video. I loved the music itself, but the dance was also so good. It was so energetic and it really hit. And for example, the fact that they let Mingi have an entire rap potion for himself without splitting it with Hongjun, it was just so good. Wonderland was really that girl, and I feel like Wonderland itself also brought a lot of ateenies besides Waves, who they obviously had their first win with. Well deserved, might I add. I really love Wave, but Wonderland was just so amazing. They did not make a second music video for any of the tracks. They did promote with Sunrise, but I'm not gonna talk about Sunrise right now. Just let me tell you, I love it. This is an ASMR video now. Do you like it? But because they did not make a music video for it, I'm going to cut Sunrise out. I also cut Aurora out, even though they made one for it, so there are no rules here, people. This is just, I wing this how I like it. Now we have ateez's latest comeback, which was personally my first comeback with them. It was the Treasure epilogue, Action to Answer, and it was really, really, really good. The track they promote with is Answer. I love Answer. It feels like a love child between Wonderland and Treasure, if that makes any sense. It's very ateez, and at the same time it's very new. Answer feels really epic. It feels really strong and kind of dark, but at the same time it's not as energetic as Wonderland. It's not as fast, even though the dancing kind of is, but it's not this overwhelming. Like Wonderland is really in your face and really you feel like you could do a boxing match to this, and Answer is prettily sitting somewhere in the desert and staring into the distance. Maybe also start dancing. But I really think that Answer is such a beautiful song. It really hit hard. I love Sanrio-sang. We love Sanrio-sang in this household. Songhwa had a killing part, which I love because Songhwa is my bias. I didn't talk Songhwa about this entire video so far, so far so good. I'm not going to talk about anything else than Answer because they haven't released anything for Horizon, even though that's the second, and I really want to talk about Horizon because it's so good, but that's for another video. And also they promoted Star, I don't know how it's pronounced, 1117 or 1117, I do not know. I really like that they promoted that before and now put this into this album. Really good stuff, really good stuff. And that's it folks, that's it for today's video. Thanks for watching, and probably we'll see each other next time when I rate all of their B tracks as well.